video with the little boy getting put out and the daddy was just putting his stuff together and telling him he had to leave, and the son just was like, I pay half the bills, why is you putting me out? Why? Because you ain't proud of me because I didn't play football, because whatever, why is you putting me out? I didn't pay half my bills, I'm always on time, I don't disrespect you, I don't. And he's doing it just like this, how I'm doing it to you. Then all of a sudden he pans to his dad while his dad's putting stuff together. And the dad was like, it's the company you keep, you running in and out of my house all times of the night. You disrespectful, you are a disgrace, da 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 da, all of that stuff. And then everybody has taken the video and reposted it, and they're like, oh, it be your own people. He just mad at him because he's gay, or he's part of the LGBTQ community, or they're like doing all this pitying kind of stuff, and people are just like really going in on the dad. And I really dislike social media in this type of thing because, honestly, I have a 19-year-old and a 24-year. I have like grown, slightly adult children that live with me, and they know it's rules and regulations in my house. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have rules and regulations. My daughter is not of the LGBTQ. My niece is not. But here's the thing. I still have other codes of my house. Like, she can't, it's a dress code in my house. And it ain't even like a strict dress code. You ain't got to wear no uniform. You ain't got to be all the way covered up. But my daughter know that she ain't finna wear no thong out my house. It's just not happening. She tried it one time when she was going to a concert. Her back of her, she had on some shorts. They would see through when she had on a thong. I was like, no ma'am, no ma'am, that's not what I'm raising. Because I got a 9-year-old son too, and listen, it's certain things that he's impressionable with. It's just not gonna happen, and I'm not raising her that way. Listen, I can't stop her because she is an adult. However, if she wants to do that type of thing, she has to go get her own, and she has to establish her own rules and regulations in her own home. And people were like, well, he'll take his half of the rent all the time, so it ain't no problem. I'm pretty sure that man don't need that boy's rent money. What he is doing is trying to teach his son some financial literacy. He is probably trying to show him some financial responsibilities without breaking him. So he's not listen, he ain't charging him a whole rent mortgage. He ain't charging him he giving him half so he can inch that up and try to save some so that he can get himself together and get on about the house. The fact that you like, I pay this and I got the same friends, oh, you don't want to see us like this, it's a surprise. No, he probably told you. I'm willing to bet that as a parent he told him, listen, he had an inkling that his child was probably of the LGBTQ community. I'm pretty sure he did, but he probably told him somewhere, listen, because I don't know what religion and denomination that man is, and there's some religions out here that have a devout code of ethics. So if they'll still love their child, but they're not going to condone it in their environment. So it's like, you can't be wearing these specific kind of clothes coming in and out my door, makeup and all of that stuff. Whatever you do out there in the world, do it, but in my house, this is the code, this is the ethics. And now that he paying half, or he feel like he paying half, he like, I get to make my own rules. No, you still got to abide by daddy's rules. And so when you ain't doing it for a week or two, and I'm constantly saying, don't dart my door like this, and maybe it's other kids, impressionable kids that's in the house, and he's saying, no, no. And he told him. He finally was like, yeah, you got to get out. You got to go. But they trying to make it like, oh, he just needs to tell him it's because he's gay, because he knows that that's the real reason. And the real reason, listen, he don't have to tell him nothing. He don't. Number one, it's his home. But number two, the fact that he is telling him, you're running in and out of my house. He didn't say in a pandemic, but I know that that's what that means, because my daughter was doing that for a while. During this whole 2 years she was doing it, and I was like, listen, you're going to run in and out. My son is asthmatic. Your little brother is asthmatic. Ma'am, you're going to have to go get your own, because we're not doing it. We're not doing that here. We're not doing that. Yeah. They didn't know the full story. And I really hate that. Here's the thing. Yeah, but and that's my thing. Is he? Listen, I don't really. I empathize with the child, but if you look at the video, you can see that the child is when he's putting all that in the atmosphere. That's his things. He believes that his father is not proud of him. He believes that his father is upset with him for not turning out the way he wanted him to. And be very clear, parents will feel that way. His father probably carries some of that discomfort, like, oh my God, this is not what I raised him. Oh my God, my son will never be somebody's husband and give me grandchildren. Some of that is probably in there. But here's the thing. He gets to have that. I think the world is so crazy to believe that just because a child is something and they're already experiencing the discomfort of trying to grow into something that is not perfectly acceptable, it's there because if this father is what you believe him to be, even I'm saying we'll look at it from the son's point of view. The son believes his father has a phobia of this thing. Even if you believe that, there's a reason why you believe that. That means your father has already exhibited to you some sort of male point of view. He's raised you with a very male-driven life. Whether it came in spiritually, where he said the Bible don't condone that, I'm not gonna whatever, or it came in just his way of masculinity, where he felt like my son needs to throw this football and catch this football. He let you know. He set that tone of the type of man and son he expected. However, if that didn't happen, all that means to me is there's a disappointment. Disappointment doesn't mean that you don't love your child. It 100% does not. It just means that you feel like you gotta come to grips with that life. And here's the thing, just because he has to come to grips with that type of life doesn't mean he ever has to condone it. I think that's where people get messed up at. Like, I think that people get messed up thinking that for you to be a good parent, they have to condone what you do. And listen, I said straight or LGBTQ. My daughter still, there's certain things I'm not going to condone. I'm not going to condone her becoming a stripper. I'm not. Listen, I'm going to love her just the same, but she would have to get her own place, and she can go do whatever she wants to. I can't. Listen, if that's a lesson that she needs in this life and she willing to answer to her creator for it at the end of this life, that's really on her. But on my dime, in my home, I can't condone it. So for me, that lifestyle wouldn't work for her to have that in my home. I can't. And then still parent my 9-year-old and still, my conscience ain't gonna let me. But I'm gonna love her and I'm gonna support her and I'm gonna have her back. And it's no different for the LGBT. If they were LGBTQT, I can't never say that thing. That's too many letters, y'all. I don't care one way or the other what my child turns out, but certain things you can't ask me to condone. And it's not even just me. I'm saying that from a perspective of I came from devout, religious family. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Mr. Magic Stick. We talking about the little boy that his father put him out. And he's trying to make it seem like it's because he's part of the LGBTQ and his father is disappointed at how he turned out, as opposed to the fact that the father actually said, no, it's because you're running in and out of my house at all times of the night. Got these friends running in all times of the night. The company you keeping and all of that stuff. He said clearly what it was, and then the baby then filmed him. and put it out there, and now everybody is jumping on the bandwagon like, oh, the LGBTQ have it so hard, and the parent be your own parents that treat you like whatever, and they judging this father with no comprehension that look, people are entitled to their own ethics for their home, and if it don't work in your home, baby boy, you got to go get your own. It's real simple. I tell my kids all the time, it's only room for one queen. And so this is mine. So even if I try to teach them financial literacy and responsibility, and I say, hey, you're going to give me this certain amount of money for this bill every month, you're going to give me this certain amount of money for this bill every month, and then you going whatever. It ain't that I need their money, but it is me trying to help them establish paying something and being responsible for something, so that when they get out into this real world, they know that that's what happened. They don't just start spending their money on a bunch of frivolous things, and they have no concept of something that's due every month, and if you don't pay it, it get cut off. They have to have some responsibility to understand this, so that I can prepare them for the real world. Teach them how to get a card. Teach them how to, establish some credit. Teach them how to pay something. Like, yeah, but that's not you paying my bills. You don't get to make no rules. These my rules. You gonna buy them or you not? Because if you not, it's cool. Because you're grown. But you gotta get your own. And I mean that from everything. And I don't think that father was wrong for that. And you could tell even by the tone of the little boy. Hey, now you taking it too far. I don't even got no privacy. I'm coming in here and you looking all in my drawers. His daddy was like, you don't got no privacy. You don't. And don't. Listen, how do y'all... All of these mass unalivings at school, all of these things that's going on in the world, if you are not keeping up with your kids, and I always blame parents. When them kids be running up in them school, Uval, Texas, like where was the mama? Why didn't y'all know that your child was capable of doing this to somebody else's children? Like, why? Why don't y'all know that? And then when these kids go out here and did the grocery store with the people at the elderly people at the grocery store, why you ain't know your child was capable of this? Why you ain't know your child had all of them guns and stuff? Why you ain't know that? So you mean to tell me that y'all willing to say it's no privacy for certain things, but it's privacy for other things? No, I want to know everything going on in my house. Because please believe me, if something happens from your house and your house was used as a hub to produce all of these things, they're not going to say to you, ma'am, we excuse you because you say you don't know. They're going to say, this was your home. How did you allow that to be happening in your home? There ain't no privacy. Hey, Reggie J. Listen, I always get that last part right. DBIC. Reggie J. DBIC. Hi, my friend. Do you hear me? Don't close that door. I mean, you can close it to change your clothes and all of that stuff, but here's the thing. If I'm saying something to you and you slam your door, I will take this mug off the hinges. Do you understand me? Now you don't got no privacy. When you change your clothes, you will change the mugs in the bathroom. Don't slam my doors. Don't talk crazy to me. Now you can speak your mind. I've always told my kids that you can say whatever you want to say to me. It's how you say it, though. It is how you say it, and they know it. Listen, don't talk, don't do this, and don't be rolling your eyes when you doing it, because then we all going to the upper room. We going to the upper room. No. Hey, Side-Eye Barbecue. I'm doing good, Reggie DBIC. How are you? How you doing? Where you been? Don't do it. I'm telling you. Listen, I'm real open with these kids, but I really, they know. This is me. I will help the adult kids. You know, most parents put their kids out right after 18 because they just like, you on your own. I done done my part. And most of them put them out without no real literacy, without no real comprehension of how bills work, how to pay things, how to how to save, how to go put a down payment on something, how to they don't we in certain communities we don't really listen. I didn't know one way or the other. Not that my mother wouldn't have, she didn't do that on purpose. She didn't know that was something that you teach, and I found that out. I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, what rich people teach their children and poor people don't. I read this book, it was Jewish something, how Jewish people raise their children, how they teach them specific lessons, how they push them out and allow them to get certain lessons. It's really, for me, I'm 100% the person. I'm 100% the person that believes in, I don't coddle my kids, but I do. I kind of let me see what you're doing. Let me give you more responsibilities within specific boundaries, so that if I need to catch you, I can. But I'm gonna let you fall a little bit. I'm gonna let you get lessons. Listen, I'm gonna let you get the lessons because I need you to learn how to scrape your knee and then fix it. I can help you fix it because it's usually small boo-boos. But I'm gonna try to push your brain to use some common sense. And they say you can't teach common sense. You can't, but you can 100% push them in the direction of normalcy, coping, being able to, really support themselves. And listen, y'all, if y'all ain't seen the video, go watch the video. If you just look up LGBTQ son being thrown out by his dad, it's gonna come up because it's viral. Listen, that boy is well over 18, so you ain't gonna make me believe that the man is putting him out because he just all of a sudden is. Listen, if your child is this kind of grown, 20 something, all the way with some lashes on and some lavender lipstick, you had an inkling when he was 5, 6, 7, 10 that he was gonna be that way. You was probably praying it away, which is why you set boundaries. Like in this house, you ain't leaving this house with no girl clothes on. Put some boy clothes on. Please do not wear nails and lashes leaving my home. It was ground rules. Please believe me. I'm sure as the parent who, if he is of a specific denomination, Muslim, Jehovah's Witness, whatever it may be, he had ground rules. but you usually love your child, and if you felt that badly about it, if you really felt like, oh my God, I can't put up with this, as soon as he turned 18, he would have been out your house. If you look at that video, you know that boy is well over 18, and he ain't put him out. Everybody's trying to, like, if he was able to take his money, his half of the rent, it was okay when he was taking his, sir, he was teaching him boundaries, lessons, literacy, financial responsibility. Because if it was really about he needed that boy's money, he wouldn't be putting him out today. He would need that money next month, and the month after, and the month after, and the month after. That is a grown man. He could take care of his own house. He was letting his son stay there as long as the son abided by rules and regulations. But you can tell that the son got comfortable with paying half, and he felt like, I give you my half the rent, I do this, I do that. He felt like because he was doing half as much as his daddy, he felt like he had as much say in bending those rules and breaking those rules and making his own. Hey, Ginger Wine. So yeah, I just think that it's a learning lesson. I listen. The man, the father was extremely humble, in my opinion. The son was extremely big in his personality. And people are like, well, that's just his big energy. It's the difference between big energy, big personality, and big disrespect. And I ain't saying he was blatantly disrespectful, but he definitely had that. Because a couple of times the daddy was like, oh, now you're going too far. Don't put my stuff on the floor. Don't touch it. I'll get my own stuff. Who talked to their parent that way comfortably? Listen, if I was taking my stuff out of my daughter's closet, like, get out, the last thing she worry about is me putting her stuff on the floor. And she can jump really retarded if she wants to, but she know. She know. Listen, and he was extremely humble just doing it. So obviously he had had other conversations like, don't run in and out my house. You know you can't come in here with them lashes on. You know that your friends can't run in and out of here with all them makeup and wigs on in front of your brother. You could tell that that probably did happen. So I'm not saying that some of the discomfort ain't about his lifestyle choices. But I am saying that those lifestyle choices probably were factored into whatever rules and regulations he had thrown down that says you can stay here if you do this. You here to pick me up? Oh, one Roy. Is who somebody famous? The TikTok. I don't think he famous. But if you look it up, you will see it. It's definitely a viral video. But everybody is just like, Danielle. Because on Facebook, I'm like, they're like, Venencia, you have your. I don't give a care. Listen, I hate that people believe that you can make people condone something. You can't. Just because. It's the weirdest thing to me. They don't. Listen. Listen. It's just weird to me. We go all out like, oh, you people hurting themselves because they have it so hard in the LGBTQ community. Do you understand that these young people have it hard in every community? It does not matter. I do understand. I do understand. But be very clear. I'm a double minority woman. I'm a black woman. So when you say that to me, it's almost offensive that you throw that at me. Like I have to have more sympathy for a group of people who choose a specific lifestyle. If you choose that, you have to choose to build and cope with the repercussions and the naysaying and the backlash of that. I'm not saying that it's right that you have to deal with those things. But I'm saying if you want to stand in the choice that you're making, that this is you and this is your journey and you're willing to answer for that at the end of your, like we all are. We all got our sins and our iniquities. So I'm not judging nobody, but I'm saying I'm a double minority born this way. When I came out of my mom's crotch, I was brown and I was female. When I'm born with it, I didn't choose this. I mean, not that I would have chosen anything different, but I was born this way. So the reality of me being born as a double minority and me not getting that choice, I'm still not choosing to bask in the whole pity of woe is me that the world is throwing me. I gotta work twice as hard. I gotta be twice as good. I gotta show up in the room and not be the angry black woman. I have to do specific things at all times. And I'm not moaning and complaining about it at any turn. And I'm not blaming nobody either. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get to do that. I don't get to break the rules because I'm there. If somebody lays down the rules that you come in and you're not going to be cursing out the other colleagues, you're going to participate and collaborate with your other colleagues, guess what? I don't get to break those rules. And then turn around and say, well, tell the truth. It's because I'm a black woman. You tell the truth. You don't like me. You don't want to promote me because I'm... No. I don't